I bootstrapped this company for about 4 or 5 years. I'm running this entire thing off of an Excel sheet, and I opened this Excel sheet and I want to see what my January 2025 sales were. 300,000 was just pure profit. I took the 300,000, I went to Manhattan Motor Cars, and I bought a Bentley.
No, you did not.
I did. And that was the moment where I was like, okay, this is crazy, but that was a lesson for me, because once I bought that car, I knew that that wasn't the path. Like, that's just crazy.
No,
like,
it's not.
It was not the path. But I had to learn it on my own.
New York City, the finance capital of the world. It has more ambition than one tiny island can handle.
And it's not a bad place to get a bite to eat either. For 3 decades, we've made it here on the markets, calling our shots, and always speaking our minds. But the best conversations happen across the table. So pull up a chair while we break bread with founders, CEOs, and creators, all in the iconic spots that define the greatest city on earth. This is Standing Table.
Presented by Apex FinTech Solutions. In New York, pizza is not just food. It's part of the city's DNA. And that story runs deep in Brooklyn, where working-class immigrant neighborhoods helped shape the New York pizza we know today.
That's where Grimaldi's comes in. Sitting in the shadows of the Brooklyn Bridge, this Dumbo pizza restaurant serves authentic, coal-fired, brick oven pizza.
This pie is sought out by tourists, appreciated by locals, and even draws the celebs. Like this guy, Ilir Sela, the founder and CEO of Slice.
As an Albanian raised in Staten Island, you could say pizza was his destiny.
Growing up, he was surrounded by family members and friends who owned local pizza shops. This was his secret weapon in founding Slice.
Slice transformed mom-and-pop shops with access to the technology, reach, and economies of scale they need to stand stronger against the chains.
Today, Slice is the largest network of independent pizzerias in America.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Kind of old school
Don't you
little
love
corner.
that?
This is like your mecca right here. We got
Look at this
pizza
tablecloth.
there, we got pizza there, we got pizza here. Like what is it about this little corner of Brooklyn that is just filled with?
Yeah, you have a lot of history here. Obviously, Grimaldi's is an iconic institution. What you have is these pizza makers that decide to go on their own. So maybe somebody worked at Grimaldi's and then decided to open up their own shop, and so it sort of expands from that.
It's like the mecca of pizza right here.
I would think
like
that's fair.
Staten Island, where our main man is from, by the way. What do you mean? Like,
No,
what do you
that's
do?
fair. I think
those are fighting words.
The people in Brooklyn would like to say that they still have the crown.
You think? What do you think?
Let me tell you something. Staten Island, the most amount of pizza shops in terms of density in the world. 130 pizza shops on Staten Island.
Yeah, there are a lot of Met fans too. It doesn't mean they're any good.
I don't know if we've ever had pizza together, have we? We've done a lot of the New York City classics, that sort of thing. But you got to tell Guy, I told him a little bit about it, like pizza shop is in your family, and we never talked about how you got into it. You call it the pizza business. You obviously built a tech company, a logistics company, but take us all the way back, because this is like in the family.
That's right. So I have a ton of family members that own pizza shops. I am Albanian. Albanians, by the way, Albanians are behind a lot of the pizza shops that are even...
Did you know that?
You go to Arthur Avenue.
That's right.
All Albanian?
It's all Albanian.
Really?
Yeah.
That's right. And it's sort of this natural migration. Albania is just a stone's throw away from Italy. And so as people migrate away from Albania, they go to Italy, spend some time there, work at restaurants, work at pizza shops, pick up the craft, and then move over to the US, to New York.
Got to be an extraordinarily, as competitive as the restaurant business is, this business must be 5x that.
Incredibly competitive, especially in the Northeast, as you go outside of the Northeast. But this was the story of my family. So my family opened up a pizza shop called Charlie's Pizza on 75th and 3rd in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. And my uncle, my dad, my grandfather, the entire family ran this place. It was actually open till 5 a.m. Wow. The 4 to 5 a.m. hour was the busiest hour.
Come on.
That's right.
Who are you getting in the 4 to 5 a.m. hour?
Good question. This was 1972.
A lot of divorcees that were out on the prowl.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I don't know. What do I know?
I will ask. But from that, my uncle, my grandfather continued to remain in the pizza business, and then my other uncle also had a pizza shop in Long Island called Patty's Pizza. It just what happens is one person goes into the business, succeeds, does well, and then you help the other person go into the business. And Next thing you know, I think today I've got 30 plus family and friends that own pizza shops.
Oh, hi.
How are you? Do you know your way around a pizza menu there? Or no?
I mean, I do. I will tell you, for me, you've got to go with the classic.
Margarita.
The classic done well. And then I do know somebody here is a big fan of sausage.
Yeah, sausage, regular Italian. That's chicken sausage, ain't cutting it.
That's like you, a regular Italian.
Yeah, I'm regular
Can I get a
Italian.
beer too, if you don't mind? Brooklyn Lager's amazing. Yeah, thank you.
She also has Peroni on tap.
I want the local, dude. One in Brooklyn. You know what I mean?
I'll do the Peroni also.
Of course you will. I want to stay with the business thing, but I have to ask you a question, because you're obviously immersed in this. What are you offended by in terms of toppings? When they started putting pineapple and shit on top of pizzas, like, I dialed out of that. Like, it's sausage, you want to go a little pepperoni, some people go crazy with mushrooms. I'm okay with onions.
The best pizza needs no toppings, although we have a whole debate going on at Slice whether cheese is a topping or not. We'll put that aside. What do you think? Do you think cheese is a
Well,
topping?
soft cheeses are horrible
Well,
for
it's
me.
funny you say that, because they make, what is it, a grandma's slice, or where it's just the sauce, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
little
that's
olive
the
oil,
red-
I mean, that's fantastic.
The sort of red pie, but just draw the line when you have to start stuffing the crust.
Right, but then you get into some funky stuff. I mean, I see somebody making a chicken marsala pizza. I mean, come on.
So Ilir's been on Fast Money. I don't know if you remember it. And
do.
you know, it's funny, you used a term, this was like years ago, you know, you said that you serve local businesses and you're trying to level the playing field. These are companies that are, you know, small businesses that can't really invest in technology, right? Like they're a neighborhood place and they have to rely on this sort of thing. But you started talking about big pizza. Like, what's big pizza? Because you just mentioned stuffing crust. If you watch football all day long on a Sunday, you'll see, you know, ad after ad of stuffed crust. It's disgusting, you know, let's be honest.
Yeah, I admire Big Pizza because I think especially Domino's is a great company.
That's big pizza.
That's
Pizza
Big
Hut,
Pizza.
Domino's.
That's right. Papa John's, Little Caesars.
Right.
And,
You're gonna rank them?
If I were to rank them in terms of what? As a business or?
No, in terms
Quality
of
of the
quality
pot,
of
yeah,
pot.
thanks.
Well, a few years ago, was it Domino's or Pizza Hut basically came out and said our pizza sucks and we have to
I
do
think it was
something?
Domino's and they redid everything.
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming out.
Yep.
Cheers.
Thank you.
I have a confession. The only big pizza I've ever had is Pizza Hut.
Really?
Yeah, Pizza Hut at the airport. You know, when all else fails, it's not bad. The little tiny, little tiny.
Bad.
You know, if you're on a long flight, that may come to haunt you. About 2 hours in, I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Because I have a very, you know my views on air travel.
Yeah.
You may not know.
Oh, jeez.
Couple things. I don't think you should be allowed to bring anything on the plane with you other than yourself. The people with the steamer trunks, gone.
What about the kids? Can you bring your kids?
Bring your kids.
He
No, that's
means
fine.
like luggage on the actual plane. He thinks everything
check
should
everything.
be checked.
Number one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Number two, people that bring meals in, the aforementioned pizza, they should be banished from airports for life. It's nuts and it stinks.
They come in with Chinese food, right?
Why?
Walk and roll.
I mean, that's a good question. I don't bring Chinese food.
I'm in your grill now. So that I just thought I'd get your sort
No,
of
so
views on that.
I agree. I don't think you should bring food on the airplane.
Thank you.
Well, food that's sort of just been made.
You want to
and
bring
cooked.
in Haribo gummy bears.
Bring peanuts.
Have at it.
I'm a Chex-Mix guy in the airport.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
But you know, Domino's has done an incredible job as a big pizza brand, creating opportunity for franchisees to earn a living. And so on average, a Domino's franchisee, they realize about 1.3 million per year in sales per location. And for their family, for themselves, they make somewhere between 100 and 150,000 in profit per location.
So like, what is that, 9-10% profit? Is that reasonable in that business?
It's reasonable because they also have to share on that profit
Right.
with Domino's. And Domino's takes a big cut. In fact, Domino's, I think, makes on average about 22% of the gross sales of the location goes to Domino's in the form of royalties, marketing fees, and such. And so I think it's a great business model, and they've created economies of scale. They have infrastructure, they have a supply chain, and so operating a Domino's tends to be a pretty successful business, but it has one major sort of trade-off. They take away your creative freedom. You cannot be Grimaldi's.
Right.
You cannot make your own product. You cannot be a chef. And so for Slice, one of the reasons why I started the company was to figure out how to level the playing field, how to bring big pizza scale to independents that just naturally don't have it.
And you chose pizza because it was in the family and you saw like some inefficiencies, like the way your family ran these businesses? Not that they ran them it's just like hurdles for them to kind of get over.
Oh no, they ran it inefficiently.
Yeah.
They still do in some ways, and that's one of the challenges. And so not everything that I think family members go through deserves to be a business. So what I did was for about a year, I wanted to really study the opportunity. I wanted to know how big this industry is on a both national and global scale. And I wanted to know if the problems facing the family members that own pizza shops were consistent across different geographies. And so once I learned that, one, the industry is, in the US alone, it's about $48 billion in revenue, passed through about 80,000 pizza shops. So just in the US, massive industry. Two, the vast majority of that is independents, small brands. The big pizza chains make up about 20,000 locations. The rest are small brands and independents. And then three, they all had very similar challenges, which also is their superpower. Being independent is great because you could do whatever you want. You could be your own brand, you could make your own product, but it has the trade-off that you are alone, you have no economies of scale, you have no buying power. You're basically operating as an owner-operator.
We talk about commodity costs on the network on our show. In your world, commodity costs are a real thing.
That's right.
There was a period of time where flour costs were going through the roof, so that kills margins because you can only pass through so much.
Well, wages too has been really a tough one.
Wages, but commodities for sure. So speak to how they, a mom and pop shop, a local shop, it's hard for them to navigate and to figure that out.
Absolutely. So the largest cost of making a pizza, it's about 70% of the cost is the cheese. And the cheese is a commodity that is trading consistently, and sometimes it spikes up. And so large brands, big pizza, can negotiate the prices of this product. Not only that, but they have storage. They have the ability to store this product so that if the prices come down, they can buy it in bulk. Where's an independent pizza shop going to store the product? They have nowhere to put it.
But one of the things that's interesting that you did this due diligence, right? Like you spent a lot of time thinking about the economics of the business. Did you get a sense for like what percentage of pizza shops actually is delivery? I'm assuming that it's, 50-50. What's the number? Like where'd you get to?
It depends on the region, but for the most part, it's about 45% pickup, about 45% delivery, and then about 10% is sort of sit down, dine in. The understanding that I got really quickly was that almost all of these orders were ordered ahead because these are made to order restaurants. There's prep time. And so people are not just going to walk in and order a whole order. So they have to phone it in. And so they're phone-based businesses, basically. And half the time people are ordering for pickup, half the time they're ordering for delivery. It all depends on the profile of the individual. One of the fastest growing cohorts, you guys will like this, is predominantly fathers who want to get out of the house for a moment and go and pick up a pie and have a beer.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean?
I'm curious.
Just
What
get
do you
the
mean,
family.
Sonny? What do you mean by
I'll
that?
go get the pie. It's pretty simple stuff.
You have families,
Right.
And
So
one of the parents wants to get out for 20 minutes.
Right, to get away from his family.
get away from the family.
His,
You've never
right?
done that? Hey, sweetheart, I'll go get the food, and then you're like, what took you so
I like
long?
that.
That's
So
right.
it's a thing.
They
It
were
is a
delayed,
thing.
and you have, like, 2
so they
beers.
order for pickup. They go and sit down. Some places serve beer.
Right.
And so as you wait for the pizza, you'll have a beer.
It's nice.
And you pick up the
Watch
pie.
a little bit of the game up
Yeah,
there.
of
you know?
course. And
With
then-
your bros.
And then take the long way back home.
Right, like the Supertramp song.
That's right.
Wow, look at that.
All right, there we go.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Any seasonings, garlic, oregano.
Ooh, I'd love
All right, hold on. Are you allowed to do that?
That's your call.
No. You're the guy. What do you do? If you saw me get oregano or something, would you wince,
oregano.
or is it okay?
I will judge you.
He will judge me. He's going to judge you.
He's eating with a fork.
All right, no.
already, so
I
that's-
was just taking this stuff
Okay.
off. Come on. All right, you start the business, you do all the research. This is a family affair, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you start out really enabling these small family-owned businesses, to be able to take more calls and not have to have their own delivery people on staff. But the business has expanded a lot. I didn't realize that, what you were talking about the cheese and negotiating all that sort of stuff. You're also doing that with boxes. You're sourcing the boxes, you're building the boxes, you're printing the boxes, that sort of thing. Like, is that a huge unlock for these businesses? Like, are they saving a lot of money than doing it on their own?
Yeah, so we started off first by wanting to solve the online channel for shops. So we don't do delivery, we partner with delivery players, but 85% of the deliveries are made by the pizza shop staff, which is common in the pizza industry. They have their own delivery drivers. What they didn't have was a presence online. So they were completely absent on the digital world. And so what Slice did first and foremost was solve that for pizza shops. We think of it as like Shopify, but for pizza shops. That also enabled us to create scale. So through that product, we ended up getting to about 15 to 20,000 pizza shops on our platform, which gave us significant scale.
Right.
That's as many locations as the big chains, big pizza combined. So now that scale gives us buying power. And so in recent years, what we've done is we've put together infrastructure, warehouses, distribution centers, where we store primarily packaging at the moment. So pizza boxes, bags, the liners that go underneath the pizza. And we store it and we make it available to our member shops at a fraction of the cost that it would cost them to buy it alone.
Because you get the pricing, the bulk pricing, that sort
Exactly,
of thing.
because now we're buying for 15,000 locations, not one.
So it's an economies of scale thing for you.
Absolutely.
Right? Which is, and it works for the local establishment as well, because now they have an outsourced place where they can get the benefit of your scale.
That's right. So that scale is now unlocked for them. And then the other aspect is we now are the entire sort of operating system of the shop, where the payments, point of sale, the online platform, the entire sort of what we call it business in a box.
Yeah. So you talked about the problem that you were looking to solve. How is this received by the small business owner, the pizza shop owner, that sort of thing? Because I'm sure these folks, these are not, people that have massive nest eggs, right? They're putting their whole life in front of them. So talk to us a little bit of like, how do you partner with them? How do they gain their trust? You know what I mean? What are the big vulnerabilities that they have, and how do you help them think about it? Because you meet hundreds of pizza shop owners, right? And you see what works and what doesn't. Yeah, thousands.
Yeah, it's when you go to your favorite local shop, you walk in and you see a person
I'm a
behind
John
the counter.
Zableeker guy, right?
Well, the people behind that counter they're doing 30 jobs at once, I imagine, and that is the common theme. So, a couple of things I think to keep in mind about the typical pizza shop owner. They're oftentimes immigrant. They immigrated to America for better opportunities, better life. That was my family. In many cases, they were working in some great profession in the country they came from, but that is not translated here. And so you have to start over. And the place most people start is hospitality. But oftentimes they want to control their own destiny. In our case, in our industry, they open up a pizza shop. And they decide to just go at it completely alone. And it's a person who basically inherits every problem and every job. So you go from perhaps knowing how to make a great pizza to now needing to know marketing, technology, hiring, retaining employees, how to buy products. That's what happens across thousands of neighborhoods and pizza shops around the country. It's something that I'm really passionate about that I want to solve.
Do you ever tell a pizza shop owner that his pizza sucks?
No, because for somebody, that pizza is the best pizza.
Is it though?
For somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all walked into that local place and just like thrown it out immediately.
I've never done that.
Really? look at my plate. I mean, people must think I hate this. It's delicious.
So let me ask you this question. There are how many pizzerias, pizza places, and let's just say New York City?
In New York City, you have about 4,600.
So let's say 5,000, I'll round up.
Okay.
How many are Slice customers are part of your family?
Oh, in New York, about 75% of the pizza shops in New York are part of Slice.
So
now.
you have the data to suggest that those 3,500, 4,000 shops are doing how much better than the other 800?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like you have enough data now that suggests like what we're doing works and here's why.
That's right. We have all the data, not only to suggest what Slice is doing and how that's contributing to the value of these businesses and making them more profitable. That's our North Star metric, by the way. It's how do we make them more profitable? But we now also have data about what the best shops do to be successful. And this is where AI comes into play, which is once you have information and data to consistently support some operating system to recreate success, then that's when you can deploy AI to serve these customers.
This was a leap of faith for you.
Yeah.
At what point, what was the moment when you said, we got it, we're there?
I bootstrapped this company for about 4 or 5 years. And oftentimes I would go to a local Starbucks on Staten Island. And I would sit there and they knew me and they would just like bring me coffee nonstop. And I would just be there all day. And I remember February of 2015, bootstrapped. I'm running this entire thing off of an Excel sheet. And I open this Excel sheet and I want to see what my January 2025 sales were. In January alone, we had done about $5 million in sales, of which about 500,000 was revenue to us. The 5 million was shops.
Right.
And out of that 500,000, 300,000 was just pure profit.
Great.
So I was just like, wow. I took the 300,000, I went to Manhattan Motor Cars, and I bought a Bentley.
No, you did not.
I did. And that was the moment where I was like, okay, this is crazy. This is not.
You have no, wait, by the way, you have no idea. We gotta dig into this stuff because this is really
Hopefully
fun.
it was a two-door Bentley.
That was my dream car. I was like, okay, I have to buy this. But that was a lesson for me because once I bought that car, I knew that wasn't the path. Like, that's just crazy.
No,
like,
it's not.
It was not the path. But I had to learn it on my own.
You just mentioned your dad's experience, your uncle's experience. You come over here. This is kind of what they know. It's kind of the American dream. You start a business. What does your family think now that you run this? And you know, it's a big tech company, right? And obviously, you know, there's no way to think about it any other way. What's that like? What does your family think about that?
After the 70s, my whole family moved back to Albania. Stayed there for about 10 years, and then in the early 90s, moved to Staten Island. We had an apartment with 2 bedrooms, and it was my family, my uncle's family, and our grandparents. And all of us lived in an apartment with 2 bedrooms. All the kids slept in the living room. It was the best time of my life, by the way. I remember this. We were 10, 11 years old, nights for another night. And so that was sort of the experience I had growing up, and we never felt like we didn't have something. We always felt really, really, you know, wealthy. But because of, I think, where, you know, sort of how I grew up, and I think the struggles of both my parents, my uncle, his wife. So I'll tell you a story. My parents decided to come to our office. We have this huge office on 20th and Broadway. It's an entire floor. And my parents come up and they immediately start crying. And the first thing my mom asks is, how much is rent? It's sort of questions like that I think are representative of how they feel still. But I like to believe that they're proud, yeah.
Guy, you nearly killed that whole pie
you had
yourself.
something there.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, you know, for a guy who kind of avoids carbs a little bit.
You know, when you have good pizza, you have to eat it, right?
You know, it's interesting. Guy's gonna pick up the pizzas, by the way.
Thank you.
You know, we covered a lot of stuff, right? And so, you know, bootstrapping, I think, is super interesting, and I think a lot of people underappreciate that. Enabling small business owners with something that you built and you stand by and you continue to sort of innovate. You know, all the stuff about your family, I am honored to get to know you and your brother the way I have, and what it means for your whole family. I'm also amazing. But like, there's a lot of stuff that you can tell, you know, people that were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, but people also kind of had to do it all themselves. Like, what do you tell young people, or what's a tip for like an aspiring entrepreneur?
My grandfather loved hard work, loved to work. But he got to an age where he couldn't work anymore. And he would always pull us to the backyard to like do something what we thought was silly. Clean up the backyard, get rid of all the rocks. I was like, what? What is like, what's wrong with the rocks?
Stuff,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so we're out there one day and my grandfather said, hold on for a second. Do you guys understand how lucky you are that you still get to work hard? And so the tip for me is there is no substitute for hard work, compounded for a very long time. There's moments where you just always ask yourself, why am I doing this? But if you can overcome those challenges and you could just work hard for a long period of time around a theme or initiative or a company that is consistently building value for an audience that deserves it, then I would say success is guaranteed.
Cheers. Thank you for your time.
That was
This was
awesome.
great. Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, brother.
Standing Table is presented by Apex FinTech Solutions. Just like great restaurants need the right infrastructure behind the scenes, the world of investing needs that same foundation. Apex is that foundation. If you've ever bought a stock on your phone, there's a good chance Apex made it happen. Learn more at apexfintechsolutions.com/standing table.